Good afternoon. It's that time. It is time for our daily visit and sharing our journey in the Corona confinement / retreat. And so how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're taking care of yourself. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you eating well? Not too much junk food, but a little junk food for sure. I mean, life is meant to be lived and enjoyed. So, are you under stress? I do hope that our daily visits are in some way helping you to overcome, the difficulties of this experience. Well, today I wanted to talk about being our brother's keeper. Now, if you're not real familiar with the Bible, that is a story from the beginning 5 stories of the Bible, and it's after Cain killed his brother. God said to him, "So where's your brother?" And he said, "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" And that's a question a lot of people like to ask. But when we ask that question, am I my brother's keeper? What is the intention behind it? It's like you don't want to have to be taking care of someone or be responsible for someone. But are we? It's something to think about, because since we are all one and we're all part of a greater whole, then yeah, that would make us our brother's keeper. So whether we like it or whether we not, it is up to us to take care of each other. Remember Nancy Reagan? It takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes all of us to create a world that works for all. So that's one of the issues. It's one of probably up front of everything we do, because the minute we start looking out for ourselves and not looking out for the greater whole, we're in trouble, because we are in a dynamic, energetic, ongoing flow of energy to and through and giving and receiving to everybody. I know that there's a book that was called No Man's an Island, but I have to tell you, in all honesty, I never read it. But the phrase is very true. We might like to think we're an island, but we're not. Therein the great difficulty in social distancing. Human beings are meant to not only communicate, but to touch and to hug, and my big thing was always this, that was the best part of going to a movie. Did you catch that? Or a play or anything else. We need each other. We need to receive what others have to give, and we need others to receive what we have to give. So everything that we do, it's like that Chief Seattle reading we did a while ago. We're all a thread. We're all a part of this great weaving that is humankind and that is life. And when we are separated from each other, it is not only unpleasant, but it is also stressful. It's even more stressful when we don't know how long it's going on. I'm fortunate that I at least have phone contact, with some people, and I get to visually see my sister. We don't touch, we don't hug. The biggest thing we do is pass a dish of food from one household to the other, and that's always fun. Um, so we have to try to love through technology. But I really, really want to underscore that there is as much importance to high touch as to high tech. I saw let's see, it was the Rachel Maddow show last night. And a woman that she was showing pictures of, I don't know if you've seen the doctors that go into the ICUs to take care of the people on ventilators, but they literally look like, they're aliens with, the hazmats and mega respirators, and you literally cannot see their face. And a little while ago, Rachel had a piece on a show where one of the doctors put an image of him on his medical coat, and so that people could look at it and know he was there. Well, another woman started making masks of the doctors, that faces the bottom of their face. So when they don't have to wear something on their eyes, or they wear goggles or something on their eyes, they put on the face mask, and it is the rest of the person's face. So if you haven't seen it, you might want to be able to find that on YouTube, because everything's on YouTube, But that's what people need. So imagine being in a hospital and being on a ventilator and scared and alone, and nobody can come see you, and then having this alien being come up to poke at you. How much better when it is a face, a smiling face that you can see and relate to. That's a part of high touch. It's like technical high touch. We need the community. And I want to say something I've said before, and I pray that you will hear it in the spirit it was intended, that when we are through this, and after we are past this virus, we don't want to become germophobes. We need to have exposure to our environment. We need the occasional cold. Right now I'm getting some allergy stuff going on, which is an annoyance, but it's a simple annoyance, but it's a part of being a part of the oneness of the universe. So please do not become, I got really concerned the other day when I was listening to someone on a report or something talking about, I know it was Governor Cuomo talking about how they are disinfecting the subways. And he had a doctor on there, and the doctor was talking about the importance of disinfect. You know what? Number one, we don't want to become immune, or we don't want the bug to become immune to the disinfectant. Number two, we want to keep our immune system strong. I'm not telling you to go out there and get in contact with that bug. I'm telling you, when we are past this, and we're interacting with nature and of each other in a normal way, not to become germophobes. We were not created to, remember that thing the old grannies used to say? You gotta eat a peck of dirt before you die. We don't want to get to the point where a little speck of dirt, no more 5-second rule. Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do about that? So back to being our brother's keeper. We are our brother's keeper because we are all connected. I got rather concerned the other day on the news. They had the press secretary, the president's press secretary, and she said that she thought that widespread testing was ridiculous. She said it was just nonsensical, is the word she used. And meanwhile, she gets tested like every week. So if you were to say, is this a part of being my brother's keeper? Yes or no? Well, if we're our brother's keeper, we want our brothers and our sisters to be tested, taken care of, whatever it takes. We want to look out for each other. and that's important. And this brings me to the real reason why I wanted to talk about this today. I heard someone use the term the other day, collective catastrophic trauma. Collective catastrophic trauma. And what that is about is that we as a collective are having a very negative, scary experience. And that the people and even the children are being traumatized by it. Some people are unable to sleep. They don't eat. They worry. They get to be like a hypochondriac, and every sniffle, oh my gosh, this is it. And I'm not going to say that I would not be as likely to do that as anyone else. But what I am saying is this is, because it's a collective condition, it needs a collective cure. And you and I are a part of that cure in being our brothers and our sisters' keepers. I know where that came from because I glanced down at my notes and it said that does not compute. And it was someone that I heard saying, was the same person that was talking about catastrophic trauma, that said, if the data doesn't support what I want, I'll just eliminate the data. Have you ever done that? I did that. I've done it more than once. Let's go back to that video clip that I was talking about from the movie, He's Just Not That Into You. I've made up stories and ignored the data. AKA, if he doesn't call, he's not interested. Little things. So we don't eliminate data because we don't like what it is. We want to, be informed. Well, how can, in this time when we can't even be with our friends and family and neighbors and our brothers and sisters, and do you remember who is my brother? Who is my sister? Like in the Good Samaritan, everybody is. Well, one of the things you can do is to simply be there for someone. You can make calls and check in on people. Remember, we talked a little while ago about there are callers and callees, and a lot of times callers get in a position where nobody's calling them, and after a while you can go like, does anybody care? And we have to remind ourselves, some people are callers, some people are callees. If you are generally a callee and not a caller, I urge you from the bottom of my heart, make it a point to call just to check in on people. You can be your brother's or sister's keeper by giving of your time, of your talent. Is there something you can do that they can't do? Of your treasure. Do you have extra money that $5-10 can mean a whole lot to someone in need? Or something from your closet or your refrigerator or whatever. Give. You can give advice if it's asked for, or if you say, would you care for me to offer you my thought on this? Nothing's worse than uninvited, unwanted advice. And if your friend's just needing to dump, just let them dump, and then ask if they want any feedback on that. You can share ideas. I hope that you've been getting some good ideas from the video visits we've had, and I hope that you've applied some of the principles I've shared, and invite you to share those with others. I'll say, I always encourage you to share the video. Today I'm going to really urge you, if you know someone that is having, challenges, Send them, you know, share this video with them. Go to YouTube and click on the link. You can click on the link to the master link for all these videos and send it to them and say, there's this blue-haired lady that says some pretty wacky stuff, but she's got a point here and there. So maybe that would help brighten their day. They don't have to watch it if they don't want to, but they can if they want to. And if you practice the principles that I pray I am sharing in a good way with you, that, you know, they're understandable and practical and you want to try them. If you practice these principles, you will experience changes. Now, the woman who was talking about the collective catastrophic trauma and was talking about what people are going through, for a moment, I felt guilty that I am not in that position at this time. I'm thinking, oh my God, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm not getting this. I think I'm totally getting it, or I wouldn't be sitting at home every day. Lucky from time to time to get a walk around the campground when the weather's okay. Today is not going to be one of those days. It's so beautiful. The day is calling you to come outside. It's clear. It's sunny. It's gorgeous. And when you open the door, you go, is it May? Are you telling me it's May? Because it is mighty cold. So, no, I'm not going for a walk today. To the mail. It's still Saturday. See, I'm one of those people that is kind of an eternal optimist. I go to that mailbox every day, well, except for Sunday. Every day I go to the mailbox excited at the thought that there's going to be something there for me. What? I don't know. And then you go and there's either junk mail or mail that's not for me, or nothing. You ever go to the mailbox, there's nothing? It's like, something's wrong. There's nothing in that mailbox. Oh my God, wonder if something happened to the mail person, you know? But I would invite you to try, you know, after I got over my empathic guilt of feeling guilty because I'm not in that terrified boat that a lot of people are in. And it's not that I don't have concerns, okay? Heck, I'm concerned about my own health. I don't want anything to do with that. When Governor Cuomo said on TV the other day, 66% of the people that got it were at home sheltering in. What? How does that happen? Okay? So, it's not that I don't have concerns. I have a great grandchild in Florida, which has a very high and climbing condition, and he has a congenital heart condition. Yeah, I'm worried about that. Yeah, I'm worried about, you know, what's going to happen to the campground this year if we don't get enough business, if we don't even get to open. We're not 100% sure on that yet. Yeah, I'm worried about something could happen to me and I could wind up. Yeah, okay, so I'm just trying to say, yes, I have these worries too, but I choose to focus my time on healthier things. And that's what I invite you to do. Your time, your energy. Do something that you like, that is meaningful. Keep your spirits up. If you've got, you know, worry and fear, try to work it out. Ask yourself those questions. What's the worst that can happen? Consider it happened. Ask yourself, what now? What now? Okay? When you have that, number 2, live in day-tight compartments. We can't, you know, what do they say? Yesterday is past. Yesterday is a canceled check. Today is the promise, and I don't remember. I wish I remembered that because that was good. Maybe tomorrow I'll share it with you. But don't worry about yesterday. Learn from yesterday. Plan for a good tomorrow, and live in the moment today. In a day-tight compartment. I'm okay right now. I'm okay right this minute. And I know I'm ultimately going to be okay. there's a lot of people that are worried about will their job be there when this is over. And to be perfectly honest, I worry for them. Will your job be there when this is over? But as I think on that, I also hold to a greater truth. If not that, then something better, especially if you hated your job, you know? So there is so much work that's going to need to be done when this is over. Yes, we will rebuild. Even if you have a small business and you lose it, you can very likely possibly build a new one. You might do something entirely different. That desire, what did you want to be when you grew up? Are you doing it? Can you still do it? You know, I went to seminary at 45 years old. I raised a family. I'd been through all kinds of things, and then I went to seminary at 45. I was ordained at 47. Now, some people think your life is over. Oh, I remember back in my day, because I'm old enough to say that, 30 was over the hill. Can you imagine that? Being 30 and being over the hill? Shoot, I've been over that hill twice now. Headed for a third time. Think. Have faith. You are a genius. If we can get out of our lower worries and lift it up, there are so many ideas out there. And if you're younger and you're not sure what the future's going to hold for you, you know what? You don't always get to do what you want right away. That's something a lot of us don't realize. You know, we expect to get out of school or whatever and get the best job ever. And you know what? When I was in seminary, in order to get through it, I tried to sell my house. My house wasn't selling and wasn't selling and wasn't selling, so I had to get a job. And they told us that they did not want us to have a job in seminary because they wanted us to focus 100% on our studies. I still had to work part-time to take care of myself. And I had a little money in the bank, but it was going down and down. And so I had to work. And one of the jobs I did was cleaning a house. I cleaned a huge house. And I did that, a couple days a week. I did some bartending. I did whatever I could. And then, so don't expect that you're going to do what you want all the time. When this is over, if your job's not out there, there's probably going to be something wonderful out there for you. And you may have to do something you don't want until you get to what you do want. And sometimes, oh golly, this is when I came to Connecticut and I pioneered the church in Moodus. Well, let me tell you, Moodus is not the best place to pioneer a church. It's a little teeny tiny town with like 3 big churches in town already. But I had a great teaching, but I had to support myself and my granddaughter, so I had to get a job. And I worked at Webster Bank Contact Center as a temp. And when I walked into that room, I looked, and it was like looking at this huge warehouse building that was nothing but cubicles. And I called it cubicle hell. I said, oh my God, I'm in cubicle hell. But we didn't even get cubicles. We were a part of there was 40 people in our training group because they were doing some expansion. We got to sit at banquet tables lined up across the windows. It was nice. You could look out the windows, And then we were only temporary. We didn't know how long we were going to have that job. And then we would be assigned a cubicle. Ooh. Now, if you were assigned a cubicle, that was a good sign. That meant you were a potential hire. And then, I worked there 5 months when I was actually hired by the bank. And as big a surprise as it was to anyone else, it was to me. I was there for 7 years almost and retired from there. So I walked into cubicle hell. I came out of it. in the meanwhile, I worked and I did my church and I loved it. And I was able to do whatever I could with what I had. You're going to come through this and there will be a way, but there's not going to be a way if you're so busy hanging on to what you think you're losing that you can't open your hands to receive something new. Okay. Well, so are we going to go out today and find a way to be our brother's keeper? I'm hoping that what I am doing and sharing my life and my stories and my experience with you, that is my prayer. When the woman I got off track because when I was talking about the lady who was talking about the collective catastrophic trauma, I realized that the things she was telling people to do, I've been telling you guys about for 53 days now. And I will continue as long as you want to listen. Believe me when I tell you, as long as I'm able, I'll be talking. So let's go and have a wonderful day. I promise you, if you find a couple of ways to be someone else's, your brother's keeper, your sister's keeper, I promise you, if you do something like that, you are going to end up with a wonderful day. I love you. I bless you. I appreciate you. And I behold the divinity in you. Have a good one.